Well, hello there. Welcome back to another episode here on Hall Family Farms. I'm so glad you could be with us today. Today is Friday, December the 17th, and it looks like we're going to have a beautiful day today. I think the temperature is supposed to get up to near 70, maybe a little above 70 degrees today, which is kind of unusual for December here in South Central Virginia, but we'll take it. On days like this when we can get out and get a lot of projects done during the winter, that is just something we all look forward to as gardeners. And so we've got a lot of projects going on right now. Behind the camera I've got a peach tree that I had to severely prune back. It was kind of leaning, reaching for the sun, and I just was afraid if I didn't prune it, it would topple over or some major branches would break. So we've taken care of that. We've got some volunteer trees that have grown up over here to the left, or my right, I guess, would be your left, over here that we're trying to get cleared out to make room. We've ordered some more blueberry bushes, and we hope to get those planted in that area once we get that cleared out. So lots of things going on. But while we're doing this major trimming and cutting down of these saplings, I want to harvest some of those branches and cut them up into cuttings so we can propagate them. In fact, we're going to do a number of redbud cuttings. It's one of my favorite trees. Beautiful spring flowers and beautiful heart-shaped leaves. So we've got that on tap for today. I also want to try to propagate some more of our triple crown thornless blackberries, so we can have lots more of those to plant for this coming spring, maybe early summer, so depending on how quickly they root. So come and join us, and if you need to take that break right now, this might be a good time, and we will be right back. Okay, I just got back from collecting some blackberry canes from our triple crown thornless blackberry plants, and so we're just going to go ahead and cut these up into cuttings here, and we're looking to get them anywhere from 5 to 8 inches long. So just trim off some of these smaller side shoots here. And what I'm doing is cutting, I find a node and then I'm cutting at a 45-degree angle here to give us a lot of surface area for the roots to grow. Alright. And I'm just going to place them in water, let them hydrate there while I'm cutting up all of these. It'll also moisten the end so we can dip it in our rooting hormone. Alright, you kind of get the idea. I'm going to go ahead and do the rest of these off camera so as not to bore you with this, and then we'll come back, we'll get them stuck into our propagation frame, and then we'll move on to our next project. So we'll be right back. Alright, we just finished cutting up our Redbud branches into cuttings. We've got our triple crown thornless blackberries that have been soaking here for a little bit. We're going to use our Hormidin 3 rooting hormone to kind of help get them started with getting those roots growing. And of course we have our cottage cheese containers should we need to make some more labels. So I've already cut up a couple here, so let me go ahead and write down here, triple crown. Alright, and then let's make a label for the Redbud, Eastern Redbud. Okay, so we've got our labels made. Set those to the side. And now it's just a matter of dipping and sticking. That's the process. Pretty simple, actually, and you can get this, I believe I ordered mine through Mega Greenhouse website, but you can also get this on Amazon. In fact, I just ordered another container of this Hormidin 3 on Amazon. I think it was like either $27 or $29. I'll include the link in the description below in case you want to purchase some of this yourself and propagate plants. So let's go ahead and open this up here, and we'll start with the blackberries first. And again, it's just a matter of sticking it in, making sure it's covered real well. We'll set it to the side here, knock off the excess water, tap it, move on to the next one. Alright, so I'll do a few more here for you. You've seen me do it before. If you've been a follower of our channel, it's not that difficult. But anyway, so we will pause the camera now. I'll go ahead and finish these off camera, and then I'll bring you back so you can watch me stick them into our propagation frame. Okay, thanks for coming back, and we are here at our new large propagation frame. We need to finish the lid. I'm planning to use the leftover greenhouse plastic to use that as a covering to hold in the moisture so that they don't dry out on us. So we're gonna go ahead and start. I have 30 here. If it's not quite enough to make up a whole 2 rows, I may go and collect a few more. So we'll go ahead and we'll just stick them in about an inch to an inch and a half apart from each other here. And if you do decide to try to propagate blackberries, they are a biannual plant, so they live 2 years. The canes do. The plant lives longer, obviously. It shoots up canes. So the canes last 2 years. So you don't want to collect a 2-year-old cane because it's dead and it's not going to grow. So you want to select the canes that grew this past summer if you are trying to propagate them as hardwood cuttings like I'm doing here in the month of December. And I've added the hormone, basically trying to get it so that we have 2 nodes. So there's one there, one here. There might even be a third one that might get below the sand, below the surface of the sand. So, but definitely you want at least the one, but sometimes it's good to have 2 nodes because sometimes you'll get roots growing from both. Of course, the more roots you have, the better your plant's going to be. Nope, I almost turned that one upside down. It's also nice, hopefully these will take, at least most of them I hope, if not all. One of the things I'm trying to take notice, since I am still a novice and still learning, is I've got a variety of thicknesses. So this is a little bit thinner than a pencil, and then you can see this one's much thicker. So I'm just going to take note of that and see which ones tend to root the best. Like this one's a pretty big cutting here. I'd say it's more the size of those big, large pencils that we used when we were in kindergarten, first grade, and learning how to write. I think that's going to do us. I think we're going to just have just enough space here in our propagation frame to accommodate these. Alright, so I'm going to add my label here. And when I have multiple rows, what I do is I don't make a label for each row. So, for instance, the first 2.5 and part of another here are the Japanese cherry, the Prunus Yoshimo cherry. So it takes up 2 and then a part of another one, and then I have a label here to pick up. With this is Golden Rain Tree, and it fills out the 3rd row, and then I start with a row of Eastern Redbud. And I don't know why I just did 1 row, but I did 1 row. And then I came in with the Triple Crown. So I have a label to show that that's the start of the 1st row, and now I've got a label to mark the 3rd row. So we've got 3 rows of Triple Crown thornless blackberries. So that's awesome. All right, so now let me go get those Eastern Redbuds, and we'll see how many rows we have of those. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I think I have 31 Eastern Redbud cuttings here to stick. So we'll see. That should fill up another 2 rows, I think. I'm just using a drywall knife to make my lines here. That way you don't have to use a dibbler to make each individual hole. So we'll just start with sticking them here. Again, I'm going to take note to see which size cutting roots the best. So we're going to pay attention to that. So it's good to collect that kind of data, particularly when you're new to something, so that you'll be able to learn from your experiences. So I always look at the experience as a learning moment in time. So I used to share that with the students that I worked with when providing counseling to them. You know, when you're a student or a teenager, everything is a big deal. So it's helpful to remember that it's just one moment in time, and it's a learning experience, and to step back from your emotions and kind of evaluate and see what it is that you're supposed to learn from that experience, or what is it that you can do different the next time you have that experience happen. And that seems to be the mindset of successful people that I've interviewed over the course of probably the last 40 or 45 years of my life, trying to figure out, so what's the difference in how successful people think versus those that struggle with every little hiccup that happens along the journey of life. So let's see if we can squeeze this one in up here at the top. Okay, so we've got all of our cuttings in here. I'm going to put our label to indicate that these 2 rows. So again, just to remind you of how my system works, and it'll help remind me when it comes harvest time. But obviously there's a distinct difference between a redbud tree and leaf and a blackberry cane and leaf. So it shouldn't be that hard to distinguish between the two. But the way my system is working is I put the label in for the last row of whatever the plant is. If it happens to fall in the middle of the row, like I showed you here with our Yoshimo cherries. I know I'm saying that wrong. Let me get the label here. Yoshino Japanese cherry. Then I'll start with the label to indicate the change in plant variety. So, okay, now that we've got all of these stuck, and of course we've got, oh gosh, another 6.5 feet of space to propagate plants. So you'll see more as we go along through the month of December and January and probably even February. Right now is the prime time. Those months are the prime time for sticking hardwood cuttings. Even though they're not growing on the top, plants do continue to grow and produce roots, albeit at a slower rate during the winter time. So that's what we have for you today. We enjoyed having you come along. I know this was kind of a shorter video, and perhaps some of you like the shorter videos, but anyway, just wanted to share with you this experience and how we're continuing to expand our farm here. So with that being said, if you're not already a subscriber, please give some consideration and become a member of our YouTube channel family. And if you like this information, please consider giving us a thumbs up. And if you click that notification bell, YouTube will notify you every time we upload new content to our channel. And right now I'm trying to upload, although it hasn't been perfect, I've been trying to upload new content twice every week. So generally Tuesday and Fridays. Today is Friday, so I'm hoping maybe to get something uploaded here. So you may see something this afternoon. It probably won't be this episode because we're filming ahead of schedule, but anyway, we appreciate it. Please be safe out there. Take care, and we will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.